guys, this is a video about speed within a town. So when you're driving in a town, it's going to have a speed limit mostly of kind of 30 and 20, so less than 30. And that's kind of standard really for a kind of really busy town. When you're driving in a town, there's lots of different ways that they try and slow traffic down by using traffic calming measures. So just a few traffic calming measures. You could get speed bumps, right? So speed bumps are placed down the road because nobody wants to go over a speed bump and damage their car. So putting speed bumps is quite a good idea because it enforces traffic to slow down. It can change traffic speeds up to 5 to 10 miles an hour, which is quite handy. So you're going to have those coming up. You're also going to get islands coming up in the road where it separates the traffic into single file traffic. So you may be coming up to an island on your side of the road, and because it's on your side, it means that oncoming people have now got priority, and you'll have priority signs in the red circle or the rectangle, and you'll know who's got priority by using those signs. So that's another way to slow traffic down because it's one road can only go at a time. Other traffic calming measures is big posts on the left and the right made of steel. Nobody wants to go through those quickly because nobody wants to damage their car. I think they're brilliant. Those are my favourite ones. Width restrictions, so big posts made of metal on the left and the right. Everybody goes slowly for those. I think that's excellent. Another traffic calming measure that you can get is a speed camera. The speed cameras most of the time have a yellow back to identify themselves, and then through the area you're going to have speed signs, and then it's just a period on the floor, like with lines just on the floor, and then it takes your picture and then takes it again, and then obviously gives you a speeding ticket if you've gone too fast. But you can also get monitoring cameras as well. So if you're on like a kind of motorway, then you're going to get something called an average speed camera, and you can get traffic control areas as well with cameras as well. And what it does is it basically recognizes your number plate, and then when you're driving through a specific area, like sometimes it can cover quite a lot of space, especially on a motorway, you might be covering miles, and then it will have an average speed. So basically if you break the speed limit over a long period of time, you're then going to get a ticket as well, right? So they're going to enforce like a ticket fine on you. And then there's other ways of slowing down traffic, lots of other little ways. So there can be roundabouts put up, like a mini roundabout is a traffic calming measure. Maybe it used to be a T-junction. Have you ever seen a T-junction just randomly get turned into a roundabout? That's because they've traffic calmed. Mini roundabouts traffic calm a town. So there's lots of mini roundabouts because all sides to the roundabout have to come up and slow down. Sometimes they use lines in the road like hatch markings which are coloured red, and they're traffic calming because people are like, what do those lines mean? So it's speed, it traffic calms. Sometimes there's like pretend speed bumps. Have you ever seen those? They're like drawn on the floor but there's no bump. They apparently reduce speed by about 3 miles an hour, the pretend speed bumps. It's quite clever, really. So yeah, there's traffic calming situations everywhere, and that's because in towns they're trying to keep everybody slow, yeah, in certain areas.
In a moment I'm going to get in my car and actually drive around and show you some of these things, but the 20 mile an hour zone, so if you see this sign, for example, this speed sign, in addition to advertising the maximum speed limit, also it indicates that there may be traffic calming features as well, so there could be speed bumps as well. If you get road humps just on their own, then you're going to get a warning sign with them, the triangular one with the bump in it. And these may be round or flat topped humps, and they lay across the carriageway, and they may be used on roads where the speed limit is 30 or less. And in some cases, some of the humps are in the form of cushions, which only cover part of the lane, and they're designed so that larger vehicles like buses can straddle them. I call them bus bumps because they're not affected so much by them. And finally, there's organic ways of slowing traffic down. If they don't put double yellow lines places, then people can park. And in itself, that is a way of slowing traffic down because people need to give way. So I'm just going to jump in my car now. Let's do this. Let's do a demonstration of it. Let me show you some videos of it. Let's get into this. so starting off on these demonstrations of chicanes, which are basically islands on one side of the road to make the road single file traffic. So because the island is on my side, I've got to give way to oncoming people. Look at the sign on the left. It's not my priority. You can see the arrow is bigger for them. The island's on my side of the road here as well, which is more likely that I don't have priority because I've got an obstruction on my side of the road. I've got a second traffic calming measure here, which is the speed bump, which I have to go slowly to go over, and the actual presence of the pedestrian crossing hopefully would be a traffic calming measure organically because you're looking out for pedestrians. A second island here, looking at the sign there. Again, it's not my priority, but as you can see, there's no one around that is going to be affected by me going at that time, so I was able to overtake without making the oncoming person slow down, so it was fine for me to go. And that was there because of the school. So on this road now we're going the other way. It's the same road, but I'm just going up the road. I just want to show you the signs here just so you can see it from the other point of view. So we've got the warning about the school there. So we know that there's a school coming up, could be loads of kids here. So I've got a parked car which I'm overtaking, but we are now warned about speed bumps. So it's warning speed bumps. And then this time, if you look at the sign, we've got priority because of the rectangular sign with the arrow on it. So the obstruction's on their side of the road, which is more likely that they have got to give way to us. And then we've got the speed bump here and the pedestrian crossing again. So yeah, loads of traffic calming measures because of the school basically. And this is another one I'm going through here again. I'm having priority. So yeah, so speed is seriously reduced on this particular road because of the school, which is pretty straightforward. Okay, so next example is a 20-mile-an-hour zone, and it's got zone written underneath, which basically means that we've got a mandatory 20 speed limit and we've got traffic calming, which is speed bumps. So when you see 20-mile-an-hour zone, then you've got both things potentially. So you've got bumps and a lower speed limit as well. So if there is only just speed bumps on their own, then there would be a sign in a triangle. If it says 20 zone, then you've got a lower speed limit and traffic calming measures of speed bumps as well. So these are actually cushions. These are the speed cushions. So emergency vehicles are not affected by them because their wheels are slightly further apart, as are the bus wheels, which I mentioned earlier. I call them bus bumps basically because the wheels are further apart on the emergency vehicles and the buses, so they're not affected by those cushions as much. So this is another video of cushions. So plenty of cushions down here. And so this whole area is kept slower. One, because of parked cars. So if they don't put double yellow lines, like the actual presence of parked cars is going to lower the speed down on this road as well. And then we've got the cushions, of course, all down the road. So probably don't need to show too much of this. So I'll just do a couple more. But you can just see that this is a sort of, it's a zone which is 30 still, because there isn't any actual mandatory lower speed limits of 20 going on here. But you don't want to be sort of like accelerating really hard and then braking for the bump, and you are not allowed on your test to go through the middle of it, guys, by the way. Just should put that into the mix. A lot of my students try to change position. As a car, we need to actually just go, stay on our side of the road and just go over it neat and tidy. So our left and right wheel is on the left and right side of the cushion. All right, I just should mention that the examiners are not going to be very impressed if you go through the middle of those. Okay, and then the next video is of actual speed bumps, so speed humps basically. So these are from curb to curb, and sometimes they're coloured red. So curb to curb, so they're not the cushions anymore, these are the actual proper ones. So these can affect traffic speed by 5 to 10 miles an hour. I think I mentioned earlier that you've got speed humps, which are from curb to curb. Then you've got the cushions, which are the ones where emergency vehicles and buses can kind of not be affected so much. And then you've got sort of phantom speed bumps as well. I think I mentioned that earlier. I can't remember. I certainly did in one of my takes of this. So if you've got a phantom speed bump, it's just drawn on the floor, but there's no lift, and that can reduce speed by about 3 miles an hour, just having a phantom bump as well. So it's all just traffic calming. Again, this area is traffic calmed because of a school, and I think there was an accident here once, so they lowered this entire area because of that. As we go further down this road still, so it's actually the same road, but it was a lot longer, so I've just saved time by cutting a little bit out. There's a couple of roundabouts just ahead of us now, and these are traffic calming roundabouts for sure. They could have easily have been made a T-junction. Maybe they were a T-junction at some stage, but they are certainly a roundabout now, mini roundabout. So as you're coming up to it, you've got the mini roundabout sign. You can tell that this is a traffic calming roundabout because if you look to the right, you can see the curb juts out. So it's not a straight line from the other side. So people have to change their position slightly to go round. And when it's like that, you can just tell that it's been made for traffic calming reasons. And then there's another one coming up here, another traffic calming roundabout, so all directions on approach to the roundabout go slowly because they may have to give way to the right. So it's a traffic calming roundabout. This area here is excellent for teaching people how to use roundabouts because there's just so many roundabouts in this area. Now, if you look to the left, this is a width restriction. So these are the metal posts that I spoke about earlier. I love these. I think they're so clever. Nobody wants to damage their car. So it's speed down and then gear down, second gear probably to go through here, depending on the situation. But yeah, as you can see, just going through those posts there. So as you can see, this particular area was hugely sort of traffic calmed. You've even got this area in the road here, which is staying on hatch markings. Everything's here is designed to bring your attention to speed and slow you down. Hope that helps, guys. Safe driving.